Mara A. Miller. I am a romance author of 6 novels. I have them right here. So nice to have my books in my hand. So if you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you're someone who's been hanging around a little bit, welcome also. I just thought I would do a little video. But these are my novels. Cheap Guitars. Cheap Sunglasses. And cheap, wait, this is Cheap Lies, sorry. This is Cheap Sunglasses. I love this cover, it's so great. So that's my Cheap series. And also some exciting news on April 6th, Cheap Tricks. I will put the cover somewhere on the screen. That is coming out on April 6th. I'm really excited. That's my favorite book because it's about my archaeologist. And I feel like that's one of my best books so far. Also, I have the Over series, Head Over Hoof, and Head Over Heart. So just a fun fact, I think I'm going to read these books and go through them and make some notes and probably add a 3rd book to the series. That one will be about Cynthia. I'll give you a little rundown of this plot. Brianna decides to give college a second try, and so she moves to Tennessee while her aunt takes care of her little brother. She has custody of her brother because their parents died in a car accident. So Bree moves in with this girl. She meets her through Facebook, and she doesn't really know much about her, but she finds out that Cynthia is the girl's name. She's involved in horse rescues and has a boyfriend. And like the first day she meets Cynthia, Cynthia tells Bree to go ahead and sleep with her boyfriend because they have an open relationship. And I really love the book. It was really fun to write. So I can't wait to, I think I'm going to give Cynthia a novel. But as far as where I've been really, really buckling down on my thesis. If you don't know, if you're a new subscriber, I'm a graduate student at Southern New Hampshire University. Working on my Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing. This is actually my notebook, that I'm using to plan stuff in. Some of it's empty. Other parts of it, I'm working on stuff still. This is actually an Erin Condren that I took apart. This was actually a monthly deluxe planner. I still actually have the folder in here from that, from 2018. I took it apart and I put some more pages in here so I can actually work on the series. I'm a plotter, in case this is the first time you've ever seen any of my videos. And I like to plot on paper. So, but yeah, I've been working on my thesis. It's sitting at 43,864 words right now. It has to be at 80,000 words, but I think it's going to be a little over. So I'm actually going to use Camp NaNoWriMo starting on April 1st to work on that book. So, I mean, with the social distancing thing going on right now because of the virus, I'm going to use it as time to write and to get my work done. I haven't really, I don't want to say I never leave the house, but we're definitely staying home more, often. So we'll just put it that way. More like, I might have to go get my mom cigarettes because she doesn't have a car. But, Camp NaNoWriMo, we don't know how long this thing is going to be going on. And if you're a writer, why not participate? So, I was doing something. Hold on a minute. I had some notes in here, sorry, give me a minute. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of go over some stuff with, like, how I write and why I'm doing Camp NaNoWriMo. First of all, Camp NaNoWriMo, well, National Novel Writing Month, if you didn't know what it is. It's a challenge to write 50,000 words in a month. Now with the Camp Nanos, you can set your word count as low or high as you want, or you can dedicate it to how many pages you're working on or whatever. And I'm going to work on the next 40,000 words in the story, and I'm going to try to finish it. If that has to be another 50,000 words, 60,000 words, whatever, I'm going to work on it really hard next month. And it's just, I want to have it done because I'm graduating in September, and I have to have 2.5 months where I can edit the book, and I'm actually going to try to rewrite the whole thing during that time. So I want to get the book done, and I actually want to start rewriting it ASAP to try and narrow it down and get the plot line where I need it to be, stuff like that. So Camp NaNoWriMo is really going to be, April's going to be a really important month for me as far as getting the book done. Especially because I'm at the, in week 10 right now of MFA 700, which is, one of my thesis classes, and then I do MFA 702, which is, we have 2 submissions we have to turn in for between 10 and 15,000 words, and then in thesis 3, which is the capstone class, like the class that I take before I graduate, I have to have the novel finished, but we have to do heavy revising before we finally turn the whole thing in. And the most that the professor is going to read is 80,000 words, and I want to try and narrow it down and try and go through all my scenes, fix everything I need to fix, get names figured out, get the book totally in stone as far as beats and everything go, so I can work on the next book right after I graduate. And also, I'm trying to get the plot line for Cheap Guitars, sorry, not Cheap Guitars, because I wrote about that book, Cheap Promises and it's going to be Cheap Vows and then Cheap Promises. I want to get those figured out, and I want to get the next overbook planned. So I'm doing a lot of writing this year. I'm doing a lot of planning this year. It's, of course, the first 6 months of the year are going to be dedicated to my thesis, but that's not my only project. There's a lot of writers who can only work on one thing at a time, like my friend Kay in Blackburn. She's only focusing on one series at a time, and kudos to her, because I kind of think it pisses off readers when you leave them hanging with series, and I'm trying not to do that anymore. I'm trying to finish the cheap series, and so that's kind of just my goal this year as far as writing goes. I bought a lot of notebooks from Erin Condren, like kind of too much, when I bought my house, but like I wanted to have extra notebooks because not only do I use notebooks to plot in, I also like to handwrite my workout sometimes, and that actually helps me when I'm kind of not feeling like I can get the words out. Sometimes it can be like 2 or 3 pages and then I'm ready to go, or I might end up writing like 10, 15 pages and then have to type the whole thing up. But that's just kind of part of my writing process. I'm a pantser and a plotter, which is a pantser. I will outline like crazy. I'm going to fill this entire notebook up. And I'm probably going to plot every single book, and I'm probably going to totally go off the plot line. That's kind of what happened to me in Still Beats. Is in MFA 625, we had to plot the whole book out. I mean, I had to do it for grade 2, so obviously I plotted the book, but when I started actually writing the book, I realized parts of this are not working, even though the professor told me that was good. I had to veer off a little bit to make the book work. So it's working. I'm at 42,000 words, so only a few thousand from 50,000, so that's like feels really good. But having an outline and having a sense of where I'm going and making sure I'm hitting beats. My biggest plotting tool is a beat sheet. I like Save the Cat, and I like Romancing the Beats. Those are amazing books for plotting a romance novel, I've found. Or any kind of book. I mean, you can use Save the Cat for anything. I mean, I have Save the Cat's written, I don't know where I put it, but I have Save the Cat writes a novel somewhere. And that's really, really fun to read and go through and figure out what you want to do with your books. I'm also reading Story Genius right now for my class. That has some important stuff in it that I find is useful, even though some of us are just, it's a textbook at this point, so it's just like I'm kind of slugging through it. But yeah, so I thought I would end the video with some tips on getting through NaNoWriMo successfully, especially Camp NaNoWriMo. The first thing to remember is that you do not have to, for Camp NaNoWriMo, which happens in April and July, you do not have to commit to 50,000 words. If you want to read 20,000 words, 80,000 words, 100,000 words, whatever you think you can do in a month, go ahead and set the word count. But have a game plan. Have a planner that you use as an accountability tool, writing tool, whatever. Have a plot. I mean, if you're a pantser, if you think you can do it, go ahead and do it. Go for it. I'm not saying this is how you have to do a book or to write a book, okay? But I like to have a plan. I'm going to go through the next 10 chapters and figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of the Still series. I have the first 8 chapters plotted out. And I mean, I have a plot line, but I don't have it separated in the chapters, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to work on the next ones. We have like a week between classes, so I'm going to work on that. And then, I'm also just making notes as I go. Because, the book has changed a lot on me, so I'm fixing a lot of it too at the same time. Because I had a good outline when I started, but there were things that I didn't like anymore, so I had to change it. The next one is treat NaNoWriMo like an accountability tool. That's what it is, an accountability tool. You're sitting down to write a certain number of words every single day, and it will help you finish the book as long as you stick with it. But also, on top of that, forgive yourself. If you don't get that 1,666 words in a day, so what? You can write more the next day. Now, I've participated since 2007 in NaNoWriMo. The first time I ever wrote for that challenge, I finished 70,000 words. Yeah, it was 70,000 words. I was like shocked that I wrote that much. I also failed a few classes that semester because I was a sophomore in college. No, I was a junior in college. And I failed like some of my anthropology classes, so that was not good. If you're a college student and you're doing online classes, do your work first. Another one is whenever you feel that you write the best, for me it's mornings. I always try to write in the morning, and that's when I get the most words out. But also, on top of that, do sprints. I like to do like 20-minute sprints. I have, let me get it out. That's a little Erin Condor timer. It times for 20 minutes. I like to use this for my sprints. It's really simple. I have it over here right now because I've been writing over here a little more. But I also have my iMac, which I sit there and I write too. And it just, whenever I see that, you know, if I write past that timer, it's like, normally I'm in a really good writing session. And I end up getting a lot of words out that day. So yeah. Anyway, so there's just a few tips. If you are working on Camp NaNoWriMo next month, let me know. What projects are you working on? Obviously, I'm going to be trying to finish my thesis. And yeah, also, don't forget, my book is coming out on April 6th. I'll share a link also if you want to check out the Erin Condor notebooks. They've recently done them. They come in 160 pages and they're $16, I think. They're really cool because you can actually customize your cover. I have my name on there. I mean, I took this apart with pliers and put it back together so I could give myself more pages. But, yeah. You can get some credit toward your first purchase if you use that link. I'm gonna share a link to my books and all that stuff. I'm really excited about Cheap Tricks coming out. Like, I really love the book. So, like, check that out when it comes out on April 6th. And, yeah. Stay safe, guys. I'm on Twitter. I'll share all those links. If you want to chat with me, go ahead and send me a tweet or whatever. And yeah, happy writing and stay sane, y'all.